There's something about Black women over 40 and 50 that makes a room go quiet for a second when they walk in. It is not the outfit alone. It is not the confidence alone either, though that helps. It is the way every piece she is wearing seems to already know its job. Nothing is guessing, nothing is loud for the sake of being loud. And once you understand what is actually happening in these looks, you will never watch style the same way again. Before we get into the 7 moves, hit subscribe because Melanin Rocks Fashion is where we break down exactly what makes a woman impossible to forget, and you do not want to miss the rest of this series. Move 1. The silhouette speaks first. The first thing your eye reads is never the fabric, the jewelry, or even the color. It is the shape. Your eye takes in an outline before it takes in a single detail, and it does this in less than a second, from across a room before anyone has said hello. That silhouette speaks first. This is why a woman can own beautiful, expensive pieces and still disappear the moment she steps outside, because the outline never got a chance to say anything clear. Picture a soft, flowing caftan that falls past the hip, a wide-leg pant underneath, and a duster cardigan layered over both, also ending near the hip. Every piece on its own is gorgeous. Together, from 10 feet away, it reads as one shape with 3 hemlines fighting for the same space, and the eye keeps restarting the search instead of resolving it. This has nothing to do with covering up or showing skin. Volume is never the enemy. Unresolved volume is. The looks that actually land let one half stay generous while the other stays defined. Wide trousers become striking the second the top half has a clean line, a structured shoulder, or a cropped jacket that stops with intention. A long duster becomes architecture the moment the column underneath it stays narrow and controlled. In both cases, the eye finds a root to hold on to. So the real test was never whether an outfit is flattering. That word has done enough damage over the years. The test is whether it is legible. Picture your outfit as a solid shadow on a wall. No color, no print, no detail. Does that shadow still look decided? If it does, your silhouette is working. If that shadow could belong to anyone in any mood on any day, that is where the outfit is losing you before the accessories even enter the conversation. And if comfort matters to you, and it should, nothing here asks you to give it up. A relaxed dress still has a shoulder line. A soft trouser still has a rise and a break at the shoe. You are not choosing between comfort and clarity. You are choosing exactly one edge in a comfortable outfit that gets to stay firm. Move 2. One clear hero, no competing voices. Once the shape is doing its job, the eye goes looking for somewhere to land. That is the second move, and it is where a lot of genuinely good outfits quietly collapse. Every look that stays in someone's memory has one clear hero, one thing that arrives first and organizes everything that follows it. Bold gold hoops against a simple black dress, a monochrome look carried by one structured bag, a quiet column of clothing finished with a shoe that has real personality. In every one of these, there's no debate about where to look first. That absence of competition is exactly what reads as confidence. Now picture the opposite, which is far more common because it comes from good intentions. The head wrap has a pattern doing its own thing. The earrings are large enough to matter on their own. The bag is a color that pulls attention hard. The shoes have a shape strong enough to argue with everything else. Individually, every one of those choices is beautiful. Together, they hold equal rank, and the eye cannot rank equals. It skims the whole outfit, finds no answer, and files it away as busy instead of beautiful. Attention behaves like a limited budget. Spend it in one place, and that place looks expensive. Spread it evenly across 6 places, and nothing looks expensive, including the woman wearing it. This is why the woman in the plain caftan with one remarkable cuff bracelet often reads as more polished than the woman wearing 5 interesting things at once. She has not spent less, she has spent with intention. Try this in front of the mirror. It takes about 4 seconds. Ask what you want noticed first and answer with exactly one thing. Then look at everything else and ask whether it supports that answer or argues with it. A supporting piece can still be gorgeous. It simply has to agree to come comes second. When two pieces both insist on being first, one of them gets saved for another day, and it is usually the one you were least sure about anyway. Move 3. Send all the attention to the face. Which brings us to where all that attention should ultimately go, because a focal point by itself is not the finish line. Think about the women you actually remember. What comes back is rarely the garment. It is a face, an expression, the way she holds her head. The clothes exist in the memory as atmosphere around her. That is the real job styling does when it works. It does not perform in front of you. It hands your attention straight to her. Neckline carries most of that responsibility. An open, clean neckline creates space around the throat and lets the face become the brightest, most detailed thing in view. A collar with structure points upward and frames. Earrings placed to catch light exactly where the bone structure needs it send the eye straight up. A head wrap tied high, a lighter shade near the collarbone, a hairstyle that reveals rather than hides, all of it moves traffic toward the face. The weaker version usually happens by accident, and it happens often. Everything interesting sits low: a beautiful sandal, a gorgeous hemline, a waist chain with real presence, and then nothing above the chest to bring the eye home. The outfit is lovely to look at, and the woman inside it becomes almost incidental, which is not a comment on her face, it's a comment on where the traffic was sent. Color placement belongs in this conversation too. Whatever sits closest to your face is what your skin gets red against, which is why a shade that looks stunning on a hanger can feel completely wrong the moment it reaches the collarbone. This is not about which colors you are allowed to wear. Any color can live in an outfit. It's about deciding which one earns the seat closest to your face and treating that decision like it matters, because it does. So before you walk out, ask yourself one question: does this outfit frame me, or does it compete with me? If your eye keeps drifting somewhere far from your face and staying there, add one thing near the top or quiet one thing at the bottom. Sometimes the entire fix is a pair of earrings and a different neckline. Move 4. Build in deliberate tension. The fourth move is the one most people mistake for a color problem, and it's not. You don't need bright color to be noticed. Some of the most memorable women wear almost none. But a look with zero visual tension anywhere in it does tend to fade into the background, and softness is usually the reason, not neutrality. Everything the same weight, the same tone, the same drape, nothing pushing against anything else. Pleasant up close, invisible from across the room. Tension takes many forms, and color is only one of them. Light against dark, matte against shine, soft against structured, fitted against fluid, smooth against textured. Any one of these gives the eye an edge to catch onto, and an edge is all it needs. Picture an all-ivory look: ivory top, ivory trouser. That can be extraordinary, or it can be a fog. The difference is one deliberate point of definition: a dark belt drawing a line at the waist, gold hardware catching light against matte fabric, a sharper neckline, a structured blazer thrown over the softer pieces so the fluidity finally has something firm to lean against. Nothing got louder, something got clearer, and that reframes the whole exercise. The goal was never more color, the goal is more definition. So ask yourself what creates the tension in the outfit you're wearing right now. If you can't answer, that's not a failure of taste. It's a sign that one deliberate contrast is missing, and adding it is usually a 30-second fix. Here is where I want you to slow down, because there is a predictable turn that happens once a woman decides she wants more presence. She reaches for more jewelry because jewelry feels like the language of presence. Brighter color because bright reads as bold. A statement piece, then a second statement piece to balance the first. Every single addition makes sense in the moment, and somewhere in the middle of that sequence, she vanishes behind her own outfit. People see the ensemble and stop seeing her. That is the misunderstanding worth naming out loud. Presence is not addition. Presence is control. Everything up to this point has been about giving the eye clear instructions, and instructions get weaker every time you add another voice to the room. The last three moves live on this side of the line, and they are what separate a woman who dresses well from a woman who is unmistakably, undeniably herself. Move 5. Respect the scale of the whole look. The fifth move is scale, and scale is where good pieces most often go to die. A large accessory does not automatically create presence. Size is not authority. Scale only works in relationship to everything around it. The same statement earrings that look magnificent against sleek, laid-back hair and a narrow neckline can look chaotic against a big, voluminous style and a wide, dramatic collar. Nothing is wrong with any of those three things individually. They are simply competing for the same real estate around the head and shoulders, and that zone is the most crowded property in any outfit. The opposite extreme is just as real and gets talked about far less. A delicate gold chain against a heavy structured coat reads as nothing at all, not as elegant restraint, but as invisible, because against that much fabric, small detail disappears completely. The outfit ends up with volume and no punctuation. So the useful question is never whether a piece is too big or too small on its own. It is whether it belongs to the scale of everything around it. A strong silhouette can carry and often demand an accessory with real weight. A close, minimal outfit is where small, precise pieces finally get seen. Judge everything in relationship to the whole look, never alone on a dresser, because on the dresser, every piece looks correct. In practice, this means building the outfit first, standing back to look at the whole thing, and only then choosing accessories, instead of pairing a favorite necklace with a favorite blazer out of habit and hoping the proportions agree on their own. Move 6. Build a signature people recognize. The sixth move is the one that turns good styling into recognition. Women who stay in your memory tend to repeat something, a visual signature that shows up again across completely different outfits. Bold gold jewelry that is unmistakably hers, statement glasses with real character, one color family she keeps returning to, structured bags, a lip shade that is simply hers. Most people cannot name the exact repeated element. They just develop a sense of what she looks like, and that sense is what recognition actually is. This is not a uniform, and the difference matters. A uniform is the same outfit repeated to remove decisions. A signature is a decision so good she keeps making it on purpose. The outfits vary enormously by season and occasion, while 2 or 3 underlying choices stay constant, and those constants accumulate. 6 months of the same gold hoops, the same clean neckline, the same rich color palette, and those things stop being items she owns. They become associated with her. Most style advice trains you to ask, "What is new?" Ask a better question instead. What is mine? What have I chosen again and again because it genuinely works for me, not because a trend told me to? Then pick 1 or 2 of those and commit to them long enough for people to notice the pattern. That commitment cannot be bought, and it costs absolutely nothing. One caution, because commitment can be mistaken for being stuck. Signatures are allowed to evolve. The gold can get bolder, the palette can deepen, the frames can change shape. What holds the identity together is not the specific object, it's the underlying preference, and preferences deepen with time instead of expiring. A woman who has worn bold gold jewelry for 20 years is not repeating herself, she is being consistent, and consistency is the part other people can actually recognize. Which brings us to the 7th and hardest move. The most sophisticated form of presence is knowing the look is already finished. Everything up to now has been about building, a silhouette that reads clearly, a focal point, attention directed to the face, deliberate contrast, considered scale, a signature worth repeating. Once all of that is in place, the outfit is done. And that is exactly the moment instinct whispers to add one more good thing. That one more good thing is usually what breaks it, not because it is ugly, but because hierarchy is fragile. A second strong element does not add to the first, it negotiates with it, and the clarity you built starts leaking out. The strange part is you can rarely see it happening in the mirror. It only shows up later in a photo where the outfit looks somehow more effortful than you actually felt. So build in one final step. When the look feels right, step back further than feels necessary and ask whether anything is competing with you. If something is, remove it or quiet it down. Swap the bold earring for the smaller one. Take off the second bracelet. Let the head wrap go simple. The outfit will feel slightly underdressed for about a minute, which is completely normal, and it will read as significantly more confident from the outside, which is the part that actually matters. Because the goal was never to make everyone notice your clothes. The goal was to make the clothes hand everyone straight to you. Being impossible to ignore was never about being louder, it's about being clearer. A clear silhouette, a clear focal point, a clear sense of what belongs to you and what does not. When every choice feels intentional, people stop seeing a collection of clothes. They see a woman with presence. You don't need more clothes to stop looking average. You need stronger decisions. If this helped you see your own closet differently, subscribe to Melanin Rock Fashion, because this is exactly the kind of breakdown we do every week, and the next one might be the video that changes how you get dressed for good.